Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 17th of August, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar, still strong above the cloud, that medium term chart. We're seeing it flattening off a little bit on the short term, but dollar strength is still very much the theme, and that leads to generally euro weakness. We are just seeing a little bit of a move above the cloud, but we do still have these downside targets hanging over us, and euro sinking to long-term weakness on the price below the cloud, not yet on the lagging line, of course. 112 is a pretty critical level there. Japanese yen, we're seeing dollar strength still holding through here as well. And against sterling, sterling sitting at 127, still continuing its decline against the dollar. Uh, Looking at sterling, euro sterling, we're seeing euro just strengthening a little bit here, sterling weakening against the Swiss franc. Sterling trying to recover, but still generally weak. And against the Aussie dollar, we're seeing that 174.93. We're just pushing lower again, bearish below the cloud on the medium and short-term chart. Bitcoin is up this morning, so looking a bit stronger and short-term bullish. Still has work to do on the medium and long-term charts. The US market last night, we saw the S&P 500 index closing quite a bit higher, and the Nasdaq 100 also pushing higher overnight, only up by 0.25%. So we're seeing tech lagging at the moment, which is quite interesting, given that that has led the market for some time. The Dow up 1.5%, driven mostly by Walmart's big jump on its online sales news. And looking at the Russell 2000, that was up about 1%. So US stocks still just holding on. The futures this morning, little changed on the S&P future, and the Nasdaq E-mini very little changed as well, so a bit difficult to call which way the market will open. UK market looking still a bit subdued and still bearish below the cloud short term, and the mid caps also looking bearish short term as well, with downside targets hanging over us. The DAX index, little change this morning, bearish on the medium and short term charts, and the CAC 40 also just turning bearish now on the medium term chart. Japan was up 0.5% overnight, so looking a little bit better there. Hang Seng Index was little changed, still bearish, and the Shanghai Index falling a further 1.3%. So Chinese stocks really selling off there. The Sensex was higher in India, so looking better there, and the Australian market was also up as well. Brent crude is little change this morning at 71.50, and WTI also little changed, so we're still bearish below the cloud on the short and medium term charts. US nat gas weakening a little bit to the 292 level and turning bearish short term. And we're seeing heating oil, much the same picture. Taking a look at gold, sinking lower again this morning, sitting at 174. We're still bearish below the cloud, looking for a recovery here. We've got a new upside target to 1205, not yet activated yet, so work to do there. And silver had quite a strong day yesterday, but little change this morning. US 10-year yields down slightly to 2.86%, and if we look at Apple, we see Apple shares were up overnight by 1.5%, so looking stronger there. Amazon, which did have a bit of a sell-off day before yesterday, was little changed, and looking at Google, Alphabet, we're seeing here they were off 0.6%, so still Google's still a slight worry there for the market. Facebook was down 2.7%, and Microsoft shares were also down. These were the stocks dragging the Nasdaq performance down. Microsoft not that much changed. Netflix had a further falls yesterday, down another 1.2%, making new lows and starting to look bearish short term. And Tesla, which of course has been in the news, Tesla shares starting to look a little bit bearish there as well, back below the cloud, down a further 1%. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. Until Monday. Happy charting.